Aye, toi, oui, mou. Bayole. Docteur Bao. Yajibé. Tabagnolo. Le colonel Zouénian Timoléon. Allô? Sarayou. That's what, okay? I try to
side. Love the fish, we get them every day. So if you wanna get your bunga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. So if you wanna get your bunga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. Can you meet around the water side? Love the fish, we get them every day. Can you meet around the water side? Love the fish, we get them every day. So if you wanna get a bunga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. So if you wanna get a bunga fish, you better take a walk to the water side. Jimmy, around the water side. Love the fish, we get them every day. In Jimmy, around the water side. Love the fish, we get them every day. So if you wanna get your bunga fish, you better take a walk to the water side.
Good evening, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Radio. I want to thank all of you again for joining us this evening. I promise you we're going to have a doozy one here tonight. It's going to be a very wonderful show here. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you very much for your mercy. Lord, we ask you to continue to provide mercy on all of us. Lord, we ask you for your protection. And we want to thank you for allowing us, to celebrate another holiday. To all people that are listening to me, I ask God to continue to bless all of us. I want to thank God this evening again for giving us the opportunity to be here. My Lord, we ask you, as we come out here, wash our tongue. What comes out of our mouth may be of a decent conversation. Lord Jesus, only through you that things are possible. And so I ask you again tonight to bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leader of the Republic of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. Bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's go. Thank you, folks. Please share this video if you can. Share. We appreciate it. Samson told LIBERIA Radio. I'm here again this evening. I'm going to be having some fun here. There's no question asked. I'm going to be having fun here, of course. The issue, I believe the president have asked the Senate for an extension, his vacation extension. But of course, he didn't say vacation, no. He said he has some important Liberian business to take care of. He's not going to be back until, I believe, December 18. Request December 18. Additional 25 days. Joe Biden never said, but I remember what kind of country you running so. I wish I had that same country for me to take that kind of long vacation. Yeah, but he didn't say vacation. The president, we are extend a trip abroad by additional 25 days. He has written to the Senate asking that he's going to be abroad for another 25 days. The notice of extension was contained in a letter he dispatched to the Liberian Senate on Tuesday, 18 November. He told the series of about he held a serious bilateral and multilateral meeting with his counterparts in business, of course. Football is part of the business. But that's not even what I want to do here. I just want to tell you. And once another thing, the president have extended, ICE, the Senate, I'm told the Senate that he's going to extend his time. And another interesting thing that happened also, folks, is that the Senate are now asking the sergeant at arms to bring some. And I mean, somebody to say, "You'll take your job." They're gonna join you, come and be dragging me. The other day, they drag him to the Supreme Court. Now they're bringing him to the Senate again. Don't manipulate. They come here. Oh, we're bringing Samuel to. We want asking few questions. They're bringing him because they're not getting paid. That's it. That's it. They want to know what happened to their money. Now, no other reason. Don't let the people come fool us. Say, oh, they're bringing Samuel to it because they want Samuel to it. It has been, it has now become. They say every time they invite him, he doesn't go there. So this time they're asking the sergeant at arms to bring him. I believe the date. What's the date on that? That he has to be shown. He has to show up. Samuel Tua will be shown. Rafa refusal to honor the Senate many citation for him to appear. So now they're asking the sergeant at arms to bring him on the 24th, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is for us it's Thanksgiving Day, but for them, tomorrow by noon. Oh, that's going to be interesting. The other day they drag him over there to the Supreme Court. Instead of people saying, why you're not paying us and why you're not paying civil service and all that kind of stuff, they said bringing the Senate decision comes as a result of Minister Tua refusal to honor the body citation. Okay. Now for their money business, nothing else. If Samuel Tua paying their on-time, people are not going to ask whether they pay other people on time. That's not their problem. But as long as they're not getting paid on time, now it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. So that's why they're going to be calling Samuel Tua in tomorrow. They hopefully he will show up. But I mean, Samuel Tua say, you know what? You take your job, man. That they couldn't think here, but come, but every day go to court, yeah. I want to, yeah. But it go two ways now. But not just Samuel Tua's side. Why is it they're not getting paid? These things were budgeted. So why? What the money? What the money? So on the other hand, the Senate has a right to ask him these kind of questions. My man, what's going on? What's going on? People are not getting paid. Christmas coming. You think that small thing you are now created in our country? You think that small thing? Christmas coming. You see the idea? That from now till January, I only have two numbers. My wife's number, my kid's number. That's it. Nobody, I don't know anybody in Liberia. They don't know me either. No, I'm just kidding. No, but on a very serious note, I laugh about it now, but because of these kinds of inept behavior, not be able to straighten out the fund. When nobody's saying that the government must produce millions of dollars for Liberians to be well off right now. No, we all know people are going to struggle. But when you take this thing down to the gutter like this, when nobody is getting anything, then the burden then lies on the Liberian diaspora. On the Liberian diaspora. Because they're still connected. And they're the one going to be having the burden to be able to provide for the Christmas coming, for their brothers and sisters, their relatives over there. What's the reason? If you're going to let us take that responsibility for us to be able to subsidize your budgetary item, whatever you have in there, because that's exactly what we're doing, then you should also extend us the opportunity for us to vote, because we will vote you out. You think we here in the diaspora, you think we'll let you in that? Because we know We know what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. You can't fool us. So if y'all give us that opportunity to stay here and vote, y'all will not stay in power. We will look for good person to come and fix this mess that has been created. Good evening, Philip. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. To. We are waiting for the little package from IMF. Okay, Philip. That's okay. It's coming. It's coming. IMF also bring. No, but those are kind of stuff that people go through. So the issue now is, what happened? Why are these people where? Okay, so let's just think about it. Since 2017, when Dr. Weah and his people took office, estimate how many dollars you think that have gone through this government. Is it $1 billion or less than $1 billion? I would say more than that. I would say more than that. And one of the interesting things that I noticed about this government also is that they like to put their hands in so many things that are not quite priority, as far as I'm concerned. But then again, they are politicians. They do these things for political purpose so that it can be politically relevant in the eyes of the electorates. That's all. That's all. People are hungry and they're now opening, what is it, Bala Island or some kind of island they're supposed to have. They're not going to start the construction process when not enough food in the country though. Christmas coming, people don't have pay, but they're going to open that other avenue. Don't ask me why. I don't know either. I don't know. I don't know. But this is what we have. This is what we have. This is what we have. And the sad thing about it is Samuel Tua is very smart. I keep saying that. I've been saying this for the last 5 years. Very smart, intelligent. He's not something to sneeze at. Very intelligent, very smart. But for some reason, when I believe maybe 15 years ago or so ago, when he and Dr. Famula got into that little struggle, little squabble, he called it tabata. You heard the new English that going around now, tabata, that come from Samuel Tua. That tabata that was going between the two, both of them. Samuel Tua have written some nasty article, paper, whatever it is about Dr. Famula. And Dr. Famula in return replied to that. So when Samuel Tua then came to power, he was, people from the beginning, I knew he's smart. There's no question asked. But he was not in it for the Liberian people. Only one of a few times that I watched. And every time he comes out and do something that is good for the Liberian people, I showcase it. You can't tell me that. 1 minute I praise him, another minute I want him fired. You know? Like that one time he put these young business entrepreneurs in Liberia, he put them together. And he said, look, the new ambassador coming. You need to organize yourself and go meet him and put out a proposal, a binder. What kinds of things you want your businesses to be able to be able to elevate a certain level. What are you doing now? Put your stuff together. So when you present it, even if you don't have the money, they can find people to do that. And that was brilliant. Because he was giving the young people an idea how to connect with the international community to be able to survive. In less than a month, he came up with that benevolent dictatorship. That's who Samuel Tua is. So they're going to call him Hopefully, I hope they because the other day they said he was sitting on a I'm going to call it synod bench. You know, churches they got synod bench. They got these synod benches and stuff where if you're not quite up to the time, if you say you're singing in a choir, but come Friday evening you all over the place. They've catch you to put you on a synod bench in the back of the line. Liberian churches. That your business. That your business. That your God say him will punish people now. They got a synod bench. Seriously, they got benches. And behind, if you go to some of these churches, especially around Monrovia area, you'll find way in the back they have a bench. Clear, nobody can sit on it except people who the deemed sinner will sit on that bench. In other words, for example, a young girl or a young man singing in the choir, participating in all church activities, and then have Bible on his arm. And all of a sudden, he got caught drinking, doing things that he's not supposed to do. So when that kind of thing gonna say, okay, my man, well, they both sit in the bench, on the bench, sit on bench. They call it sit on bench. So the thing is, is that what they're gonna is that what they're gonna do to Samuel when you go in front of the Senate tomorrow? They're gonna put you on the bench because last time they say in the Supreme Court they had him sitting on the prisoner bench, but they call it sinner bench. And the Samuel can't talk. He would smooth those people over. Nothing will happen. I'll pay you, man. The money's there. He start putting numbers. One thing I like about that beginning. One of the best things I like about that beginning, when he start putting numbers around, moving here and there in his head, like he did, like a banker, taking the money from this account to that account. He start calling different. Then he one there where they're all confused. You see them shaking their head. Yeah. But once he start calling Eco Bank, whatever bank, he start calling those names. He said, but I can't divulge to you the bank account because I have no access to those kinds of accounts. And the people, the agency themselves have access to it. I can't do nothing of that. But I know there's an account. And then when he starts smooth. Oh my goodness. And so they're gonna say, okay, instead of my man, where our money, you will find. One of the interesting things about the lawmakers, when somebody come out and start saying something that perhaps will shed light on many of their ill-gotten wealth, then they start biting, they start undercutting that person. And so tomorrow when the question period starts and they start getting to Samuel 12, and Samuel 12 is the kind of person that sometimes he gets angry. And when he gets angry, he starts talking more. So when those other people that are talking more might be affecting, they'll come out and say, but they'll start throwing all kinds of roadblocks on the way. Very interesting. But that's what we're going to have tomorrow. That's what we're going to have tomorrow. And let me. While I'm waiting for the analyst, I mean, it's not time yet. We're just supposed to be start, but I'll tell her I start very early tonight. So let me start with. And this, I have 7 kids. Actually, more than that. But I'm just telling you, my last baby here now, I'm just waiting. He will soon be entering high school. Once he out of high school, then, that's it. I'm not doing at work. Ooh, what? How long? No more baby, man. I beg you. The only person I got baby now is my wife, nobody else. But on a very serious note, we all have kids. And when I came in this country, I think I told you guys some story before. In Canton, when I was going to school, my engineering program, things were hard. I didn't have money. But this God we're serving is such a wonderful, wonderful God. Many people that come out of the engineering program, 4 or 5 year program, they owe thousands and thousands of dollars. As we speak, the federal government for the last 20 some more years, 24, 25 years, they owe me $50. 25 years ago, they owed me $50. I don't touch it yet. I'm waiting. It's going to grow interest. Because when you owe them, when you go with interest, so they owe me interest. No, but the guy we serve, he's just a wonderful person. So when I started this engineering program, I have no money for tuition and everything. And my grades were not that good for me to get the kind of hot, whoppy scholarship and stuff. So I pretty much on my own. So I went, there's an old man, PhD, biology. I was working in the locker room at the YMCA. And so this old man would come swimming and things, and then he decided to give me some pointer. Because he used to be a professor at the Kent State University. So he decided to give me a pointer. So he told me what to do, how to apply, and you'll be able to get that kind of money. In fact, before he retired, he was serving as one of the director of the financial aid program at the university. So he was telling me all this good stuff. So the first thing I did, I ran to Kent State. I went and I registered for criminal justice. I started reading the people Constitution, U.S. Constitution, everything else that are going case law here and there, past cases. It didn't interest me. It didn't make me feel challenged, to be honest with you. So I told him, he said, okay, what do you want to do then? When I was into town, back into town, I've always had this dream. I wanted to do something because I like fixing things. So when I came to Monrovia, I saw a man had a high hat, down water side, standing there with his hand in his pocket while this guy was putting his wire up, and he was standing there directing that, connect that to here and here to there. But I love that position. So I asked, who is he? They say he's an engineer. I wanted to be engineer. What kind of engineer? I don't know, and I didn't care. But anyway, fast forward. So when I came here, I wanted to go into engineering. So when I went to the engineering building, the counselor there said, why don't you pick something criminal justice? I said, I've already done that. We'll go into other area. Engineering is I said, don't worry, I will handle it. Yeah, what a mistake. But I put myself in it. Fast forward, God is just wonderful. So the first semester, no money. So the professor told me, it's okay, there's a way. And why would he call me in town today? Ramford, my son, my other son calling me here, telling me what kind of business is there. You know, on the air, I'm speaking with LIBERIA people. Why you calling me right now? He old now. He in fact, speaking about Ramford, he's doing law. He's in law school right now. Then he's gonna come. I got time for him. Let me go sit down. Let me find place to sit down, man. He's too old now. How when you pass 20, you're not your competition. I got time to come talk to Ramford. I'll talk to him later. But anyway, let me go back to my stuff. So, and this went in there. First semester, no money. So the professor told me, it's okay, well, when you get money, they'll put you on. So I went in the first semester, the first, those things that I just, thing there, physics, calculus, not calculus, algebra, all kind of English, writing, thing that, all thing. So I did all of those. So finally, no money, but I didn't want to get out. So I went back to the old man. He told me what to do. So I went to the financial office. My name is Samson, and I like to get a Pell Grant at that time. So they said, oh, picking loan and Pell Grant. Oh, let's see. They look at the grade. The grade not enough. We can get Pell Grant. Married with 2 kids, 2 jobs. Then you telling me that my grade not enough, man, bigger, man. You they told them, man, you come and give on your bigger, man. That's okay. I said, what's about picking loans? Well, let's look at that. Yeah, we can give you picking loans, but it's not going to be enough to cover all. I said, how much can it cover? Well, right now we don't have something. True story now, folks. This, when you get kids, I want you to listen to the true story. So these picking loans, especially picking loans, it's like a pot. The government put money in there for poor people who go into these universities taking the high classes. But it's a first come, first serves business. And Samson went in there with thinking, say he's staying in the 7 day with Afro until like bluffing. I've got in there, everybody now claim the money. They said no one will say, well, nothing here anymore. You're gonna have to wait next semester. What? All this stuff. And one thing about school business, you start, you say you want to stop and come back, something can be difficult. I said, okay. So I started, started throwing temperature. Oh, that was your thing, eh? I started speaking real no-go English in the financial office. Because I come from Liberia. People don't know me in the country. Because I got fire, I got mine here. That's the kind of thing you're coming to do to me. Because everybody got money, they want to come to me, they say, you got money. They couldn't even understand. They know I was talking, they can hear me, but they have no clue what I was saying. So the director of this young lady in the back that she watched from her glass, she watched, I was going up and down throwing this. So she came out and said, what's going on? So I explained to her. She said, okay, come on back. So I walked back, just kind of went back. She said, okay, you're doing engineering? I said, yeah. She pulled up this stuff. Grade's good because in engineering program, you have to have second grade to be able to stay. Other than that, they will drop you. So anyway, God is good all the times. It doesn't matter who you are. God is good. So she told me, she said, okay, I'll try and find something to keep you going, but this is what you need to do. So she explained to me. Said we have it's like a pot where the people put money. First come, first serve. But here's the interesting thing she told me. She said most of the rich people, their kids go to school at the university and things like that. And sometimes they get in an argument with their parents. And then they will tell the parent, I don't even need you. I don't want to stay in your house anymore. So they come running here first thing. And you can't deny them. So we give them the money. But once they reconcile, the family reconcile, because the rich people don't want people to know that their kids are getting financial aid. It's a disgrace to them. They can afford it. Why would they, so they don't want people to know these things. So they will tell the kids, take the money back. We'll pay your school fee. So most of the kids that reconcile with their parents, they come and put the money back in the pot. But by that time, everything now closed. So the money come in. And if nobody comes for that money, the money stay there. Next year, another one comes in and just keep growing. So this lady told me, say, come here last day before they close the program, you'll get money for 5 years straight. Samson told God is wonderful. For 5 years straight, I've always been last day getting, oh, Mr. Toll, oh yeah, money here. They gave me some for tuition, give me some for my books, give me some for food, whatever that I have to do. Fine. But when I was done, the total greedy man business now. When I was done with this with the university, I only owed $2,000. What? Serious problem, serious story. A lot of people in this place before you go for second degree and things like that. The first I owe like $2,000. So I wanted to go for another round again. I told myself, just do what you have to do. So instead of I went there, the people wrote me, start making payment plan for $2,000. I said, I'm gonna count the total, I'll pay you in total. But this country, they are the total. The people here, they can pepper you. You think you're smart? You're from. I say you can't catch me. I'm gonna pay you back $2,000. I'm paying faster. I'll finish with school. So I went to school again. That one, that part, something else happened. And no money. I'm not even gonna go into that. So when the time came, They keep writing me for the 2,000, the 2,000. After some time, the 2,000 went to 4,000. They were not rushing. Then when I got this job, engineering job, first pay, I was dancing. Yeah, look at the kind of money I'm making. Second pay, before at the middle of that month, letter came from the school, Department of Education, seizing my money. They're gonna garnish my wages until the $4,000 is paid, unless I'm called to make payment arrangement. I was forced to deal with them. But the main thing I wanted to say is that God was just with me. The other people leave school in a place to owe thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was only owing $2,000, but I refused to pay, so it went to $4,000. But anyway, I made a payment arrangement and everything. They owe me $50 since then. But the reason why I brought this up, is that when you do these things with your educational background, you should not put yourself in a position where people will use you. Because, for example, I leave from here, I go to LIBERIA, that's my home. Because I got so many good friends in the government. What kind of joy you want, Mr. Toe? I can't run my mouth. I got no idea, any idea whatsoever in social services, in finances. Oh, because it got prestige. I want to work with finance ministry. Blue did not put me in there. But because I cannot perform, I have to now service somebody and be nice to that person, even if the person is doing wrong. I can't say a good thing about that. That's what these things get you. So the fact that you were able to educate yourself, you're already valued. God has already given you the opportunity. There's no question asked. So you just need to make sure you keep your eyes straight ahead of you. Ahead of you. It's God we serve, and I'm not here to preach. I'm preaching to myself. I'm saying you must follow my God. Do what you want to do. You do what you have to do. But I'm just saying the God that I serve, it's a wonderful God. By the way, Samuel 12, back to Samuel 12, but let me bring in Jonathan, who is just joining us now. Good evening, Jay. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So Samuel 12 now, I'm going to be called tomorrow. Hopefully he will walk in there. But he will just talk. Yes, you're one of your senators over there. They call him Milton Teji. When I was going through Kent State stuff, Milton Teji was at Kent State. He was down there, but he was on the main campus in Kent. I was in Kenton. But every night I was in Kent anyway. Another person that was at Kent State was this guy they called Gabriel Nimlin. He used to be former Minister of Information during the PRC time. He also went to Kent State as well. There are a few other Liberians that went to Kent State. Dr. Bullet graduated from Akron University. Marcus Don graduated from Akron University. Dr. Marcus Don graduated from the late Marcus Don graduated from Akron University. Mr. Charles Breeze also graduated from Akron University. Ogawa Do graduated from Akron University. One other lady, Madam, well, I'm not going to call her name, but she also graduated from Akron University. So Akron University, compared to Kent State, a lot of people, a lot of Liberians prefer. Oh, Dr. Michael Slewin. He has a doctorate degree from Kent State University, but I believe he took few classes at Akron University before going. And he and I, one time, were driving my old car. I was supposed to turn, one other car was speeding coming at us. I was turning the car off right there. He yelled straight in manner. The way. Straight, no English with all that PhD. He yelling English, straight in manner. Calling a man these straight. I said, why? He said, you almost killed. I said, I beg you, man. I said,
Yeah.
but in that car, not stop when I got to I said, man, he said, tell me about, he told a football boo, he said, tell me about, talking about the he want to play a game for that. But anyway, Jay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I'm just, it's Thanksgiving Day, and I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you. But Jay, thank you for joining us here this evening. I hope Cece, Mr. George, and Dr. Tito will join us here very shortly. What's on your plate?
Liberia situation when you miss a day or two, following the events, it appears as though it is, a year that you have missed. And so, at my end here, I don't have nothing much. I think I just came to listen to you people, the trending issues, so that I can make my input. I've been really, really busy, a few times. As I told you before, you all, that the ANC Global Western Region will be hosting her fundraising, which will be the end of the year fundraising. I guess this is not a PR component, but I just want to say I've been engaged with it, and they are taking up some of my time. And so it will be December 9 to 11, and it will be a really interesting event that Liberians across the USA and other parts of the world will be coming in California, specifically Sacramento, to interact with fellow Liberians. And Mr. Cummings will grace the occasion along with his wife. And so it just what I've been after the few days, except that I follow the Facebook, after the USA game, we have a very good, strong tie with USA. And then our president's son have been performing. He played for the team, and he played exceptionally well, at least at his level. I've seen a lot of different posts from different people. We have to divorce politics at times from the sportsmanship. And I appreciated Mr. Cummings, who graciously congratulated Timothy Weah on his performance, though the game drew, but he did extremely well.
Yeah, now that you brought it up, in fact, that was my conversation that I was going to be going with. I know many people would not like it here. I come from a soccer background. I play ball myself, but I also used to coach high school. I did that for about just when I was in school. So I did that for, I think, 5 or 6 years at one of the prestigious high school in Canton. They call it Hoover. And anybody know about vacuum cleaner, and we heard the name Hoover vacuum cleaner, the base is in Canton, and that school is named after Hoover. And many of the kids that go there, children of engineers who work for Hoover Company. But the point is, Timothy Weah, I watched this play, and it is sad for me to say that perhaps I think it's not going to do us any good to compare his ability to that of his father. I watch his father almost every other Sunday play ball. Timothy has beautiful, beautiful skill, but I didn't see the toughness that I saw in Alfonso Davis yesterday.
Okay.
Timothy Weah, the goal he scored, that was he touched the ball twice the entire time. When I say touch, I mean that will
Aggressive.
make impact.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
The first one he took it from the corner, and the way he had, only people with skill would do that kind of ball. The ball came from this side. He let it bounce. He didn't even let it bounce, and shot the ball right away. Boom! across that it took the defend by surprise. The defense almost had the ball in himself. And the second one, where the guy gave him the ball, he was between the goalkeeper and the defender. The defender was on his bike. Now, only people who have skill and trust themselves will not be Abu Kedi, will not be anxious. And when you watch that goal he scored a goal from the outside of his foot. Only people with excellent football skill. But what I did not see in Timothy Weah was the aggressiveness that I saw today with Davis. Where when you come in, you face the ball, they give you the ball, and you make your cut, go right in, challenge, let people take you in. He wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
He get the ball, give it back to the people. This is not American football. They have structure. But Tabata, what kind of coach will tell you when to kick, how to kick, and what? They're not football. They're not football.
I agree with you. He was not on the front of owning up to the responsibility and taking the game to the
taking the game to the people.
Opponent.
Yes, he has skill.
And
if you watch a football, how you will play football in your uniform not dirty? Eh? You son of a man who play in West Point. Where people eat back. Then you say you play football, you're just not there. He play gentleman son here. He done that too. Don't touch me. I can't get hurt. No.
And if you are calculator on that flip from the corner that hit the defender and then mistakenly went to the goalkeeper.
Right.
And those are all who are playing football. Those are flip that when you are good at doing it, even the opponent Jesse or your own player Jesse can score the goal.
Yes.
Because it will take the goalkeeper unaware. And his goal, the goal he scored, he was far-sighted.
Right.
He saw the player that was playing the ball. He saw the defender that was moving along with him. He saw the goalkeeper way ahead of time. So he only needed a touch because he already had.
But that touch, Jonathan, that touch he did, that goal he scored. I keep saying that only someone that have the ability, trust within themselves, that these two people, the goalkeeper and the man behind me, they can't do nothing. You have that confidence in yourself. And not only do you have the confidence, but you have the skill, which he does. He has a beautiful, beautiful football skill. But the aggressiveness, that when people like Mano, we are touched, hey man, when he touched football, when that ball was playing football, people used to be frightened, scared of him. Not with his son. The son, if you give him the ability, if you give him the opportunity, he will score with finesse. George Weah is a brute force. But look at Davis. Look at Alphonso Davis today. Okay, the guy that played for Bayern Munich. You saw he missed a penalty. But anybody, that penalty is not something guaranteed anyway. He missed a penalty. But when he was done, you saw how much he was taking control of the entire game. He would take the ball from the corner and go in the middle, challenge the people. This is what if Tim Weah would do that, he has the power, he has the physical ability, he has that. But I didn't see that in here. I know people are going to hate me for this, but I'm sorry.
No, it's an opinion. There's a sportsmanship.
Let me bring in Mr. George. I'm sorry, but that's my feeling. I mean, I know he has a skill, and I'm not trying to compare him with his father. I mean, there's no comparison. I'm just saying that he's not being he's not aggressive as a forward person, somebody in the front. He's not, even if he's in the middle, he's not aggressive. But look at the guy that play on the same team with him, the number 10. Look at
the number 10 is a very good player.
Yeah. Look at his jersey.
I think Polensky.
Yeah,
he's a very good player.
Taller than him. till we are faster than him. You know.
But that's the other side of the conversation. Another thing that caught my attention, and we will hope that he will improve, take those pieces of advice. I will be quite glad that if we can bring out a breed of young people in our country that will represent the Joe Nangbe and the Jesse Roberts and be effective, efficient, like how they handled Ghana in those days and handled Nigeria. It will bring gladness to us. But what is important for me that I want to stress quickly is that the most recent communication of the president to return December 18th.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before you do that, let me welcome Mr. George. Mr. George, good evening. Welcome. Folks, by the way, we're just starting our show, so let me just say this. Mr. So is not going to be with us here tonight. He's on cover. He's doing some serious journalistic work, and hopefully he'll be back here very shortly, and he will tell us what's happening. So good evening, Mr. George. Thank you for joining. Go ahead, Cesar, and then we can go to Mr. George.
The president communication to the Liberian people that he will be away for additional week, and that he will be returning on the 18th amidst all of the brouhaha. It is not serving our people right, you know, and that there where we always, as political actors, as people who want a revolution of the mind and change of thought of our people, will always separate, you know, what the president behavior, his governance style to that of family life. And we do these things with no hate, with no anger, but just to tell the leader that this is what we have perceived and we have informed of, that is not in the right interest of our country. As we speak today, I've heard that some rice containers have come, but rice is still a problem on the market. We hope that in the not too distant future, it will be laid to the bare minimum rest that will not hear about it. The censor is believed to be going on. If resources are placed in it and the counting does not reflect the genuine and scientific methodology set by the international partners or international community, it will have placed our resources into complete, an unrescued, problem, and will not be able to get it back. And so all these things going ahead, and the president is out of the country for this very long period of time, it is worrisome. It is worrisome that the president needs to tell us what are those things that he will be doing and what difference will it make for us. If we are a country that have good governance style, most of the areas you can send foreign deputy ministers from the foreign affairs, you can send ambassadors, you can send technicians, and the president will still be at home and functioning, and where appropriate, he will go and come back quickly. But this length of time, it is really, really embarrassing. We don't know the status of the biometric as we speak. I just read newspaper recently. I heard that the National Identification Registry was already constrained. Those are one of the
don't be speaking BB English. The older people, the older people, $1 million, they ain't paid them yet.
Yeah, and then these people are the ones who are required to produce citizen ID card from whence people will use to take voter registration card.
Right.
And voter registration is expected per their calendar to be next month. So running the kind of race and the PPCC having issue with the neck about the biometric, I mean, those are just serious situations that require the president.
Let me bring Mr. George in then. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Mr. George, what's on your plate? If you care to respond to Mr. If you care to additional to Jay, that's fine. If you have other issue you want to talk about, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I will just add on to it. Jay, how you doing? You know, you're talking about Timothy.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes more offensive players are not aggressive. You know that. You know football. Sometimes more offensive players are not aggressive. You know, there are few players you find offensive, very aggressive. But yeah, you know, some of them like good dribbling skills. So really, you don't see that force in them. But some have both force and the skill. But we talk about Alphonso David. The other day I profile Alphonso David. Alphonso David, I think, among the top 10 fastest player in the world. I think Alphonso David is between 6 or 7. I think between 5 or 6. Alphonso David, fastest player in the world. The top 10 fastest player in the world today. Alphonso David is among the group. So that's why you see him like that, you know. So, but that's the difference, you know. So, but if we are really get aggressive, he will set a record.
Oh my goodness, he's big.
Yeah.
If he were to be aggressive, he has a skill.
Yeah.
And he has the confidence. If from my perspective, I could be wrong, but from my perspective, if he were just being aggressive, my goodness.
You saw that goal he scored.
Yeah.
When an escape for player will score that goal.
Yes.
You saw
the Messi, the Neymar, Mbappe. Those are the people that will score that kind of goal.
You saw because he turned.
Yeah.
He turned and just slapped the ball in.
Yep. On the side of his foot.
Yes.
Only a skilled person would do that.
Because that's full confident. Confident.
Yes.
Because he had two persons, the goalkeeper and that guy.
The goalkeeper in front of him, the defender was on his back.
Right. Yes.
And in fact, you could feel the defender because the defender was pretty much on him, touching him.
Yeah.
So to be able to be calm and score that beautiful goal, that is skill and confidence. I just think that he just needed to be a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, but having said that, I think I was 3 Liberians playing the World Cup, then. I think 3.
Yeah.
One, I think one right, I think one right or something.
Yeah.
So, but that's good because that also serves as a means to motivate other young Liberians back home and around the world. That, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can make it. So that's a good thing for Liberia, for the young people. Having said that, you know, we talk about this, the president traveling 48 days out of the country. And, you know, one time I said something. I said, the vice president, they all help to sell Liberia to CDC. Because they were not thinking about the country. They were all about themselves. And what do I mean by that? You take the speaker position and give it to the ruling party. You take the president pro tem and give it to the ruling party. The deputy speaker of the ruling party. Now, you know, in parliament, these are the people that is in charge of the standing. If they don't agree on anything, it can't come to the floor. But they took this position and gave it to CDC. So the president is only going for 48 days. If an opposition, the opposition, if they were in charge of that Senate, they would have rejected the president's letter and ordered him to return immediately. 3 or 4 days to be back in the country to attend to state matter. Because that letter, the content of that letter, it doesn't really worth it. The vice president would represent Liberia at that point. The foreign minister would represent Liberia at that point. He doesn't have to be there. There are important state matters at home that the president needs to be in the country. So if there was a good Senate, the Senate would have ordered that the president return to the country immediately with 3 days to report back to the Liberian people. But the chair will not, our chair will not do that. Buffer Chima will not do that. They are all seditions. So you see what happened to the country? Now, having said that, then also the people, the opposition senator in the Senate, if you look at their majority, why they can't tell Abbott chair and say, look, if you don't do this, we will bring down a vote to remove you as president pro tem. But all the people are better driven. Nobody got the spine to stand up for the Liberian people. They are option now the people can use, the opposition can use in the Senate. The Unity Party, the Liberty Party, all the party, they can put together, they can get 2 turns and say, look, Mr. President pro tem, if the president cannot return to see about state matter, we will have you removed. We will vote to remove you. Put our chair and challenging. But everybody's sitting there like, hey, there's nothing happening. It's business as usual. And the country is in serious problem. Serious problem. Leches. The additional day, they said they will need about $5 million. Where is that money coming from? Where is that money will come from? Somebody have not told people where the money is coming from to extend the additional day that Leche, the people will be working for. They have not told the Liberian people. And if that money doesn't come, do you think the children will turn in all the report from the fee? No, they won't. So this censor, it is a very serious problem. And the president need to be in the country to handle some of the matter. But you know, the people that love George, we are more than Liberia, they will tell you, say, the president can work from anywhere. You know, but this is unprecedented. I don't know, maybe we used to hear they say, go out of the country for 1 month. But for 2 months, almost the president will be out of the country. Come on. What is that? What is so important? What are the meetings that you want to attend that your vice president or your foreign minister cannot represent your country? Now, the money you're spending, we don't know how much money being spent. The only thing we know of was somebody tried telling us that he gave the president $2,000 a day allowance. That is excluding, because the government paid for the food, the hotel, and everything. So that money is personal for the president, maybe his packaging for him, but it's not excluding the government take care of his expense. And the number of people that we're hearing that on that delegation, they say it's close to 50. And all these people, you have to get them per dime, you have to pay the hotel, food. And so what is happening to the country? And people are complaining 2-3 months. Some corporations, they do 5-6 months, they are not taking pay. Teacher, I mean, employees making $40, $55, $45, $65. And people are using this kind of money, wasting money. And the Liberian people are suffering. But the people who love George, we are more than the country. They say the president is out there or talking on behalf of Liberia. We get that. But suppose why the vice president is there for any here, the vice president is there to assist the president. The foreign minister is there. He would have come back, stay another 3 weeks, and go to Washington. But no, decide to stay there all that time. And that money the country is spending. And on the last note, the law requires that 7 days is when government officials, 7 days, I think, should be out of the country for 7 days. But the president going for 48 days.
Yeah, that's the travel ordinance.
Yes, 7 days, Mr. Tool.
So let me ask, thank you, Mr. Judge. Jonathan, let me ask you this. I know you're a member of the opposition, and so, I mean, I can say that I walk into this one, but I will still ask you anyway. Any way you want to term it, I think I will take it. Let me ask you this. Do you think Dr. Weah truly intend to seek, from the bottom of his heart, to seek re-election with all of these things that are happening? the way he going about things?
Honestly speaking, I have been trying to study the character of President Weah, the political character of President Weah. President Weah is not a smart person in terms of academic, proficiency. President Weah is a smart person who understands, what we normally we refer to in our Liberian parlance, understanding the street. And I'm convinced, I'm really, really convinced that President Weah, among his colleagues who played football at the time, and even those who came after him, given the number of awards that he won, I think most of those investments that he had, they were not fruitful, and he turned to be a laughing stock. And then the CDC political party was a redemptive, springboard, especially that all Liberians believe that during the course of the war, the only area that you could find solace was when you tune your TV on and saw the European Champion League and saw the French League and the Italian League. And you could feel proud as a Liberian that other nationals were celebrating President Weah. So knowing that Kanu Uncle in Nigeria had a project, and I think about hospital, Didier Drogba just in recent time was doing extremely well in Ivory Coast. Samuel Eto'o has a very good history. And so I believe that it was ripping Weah of his prestige until he became senator and subsequently became president. Without any waste of time, President Weah abandoned all of the projects of the country, and on a snail pace or slow pace, and elevated all of his personal projects, both 9th Street projects, the Jamaica Resort projects, the condominiums. And you have to understand the character of President Weah. He's somebody who likes jubilation, he's somebody who likes to be celebrated. And so he tried to make all those worth of things so that when he's no longer president, people, his colleagues from the real country can come to him and they can have good time, they can celebrate, and he'll be able to host them. And so he never had any stringent measure on those who are also building. So what I believe is that President Weah has no interest, but he's afraid of the CDC gang, because if he show any sign that he has no interest, who knows what CDC people, those who are stolen from the Liberian people, who go the extra mile to do to him. So he will create the appetite that he's interested, so that those stewards and followers of CDC who have stolen can believe that if the bossman got interest, we also will fight. Because the thing here is to fight to protect their own interest by using President Weah. That's the calculation. And so President Weah is already done. He has satisfied himself. At least he and his wife got good worth of property in Kingston, Jamaica. They got a good bit of property in Liberia. They own accounted money. It's endless. So I don't think a president who wants to be president will have the prosecutorial association, those who are supposed to prosecute on behalf of the country, writing memo, and telling their colleagues prosecutor that you are hereby ceased to not go forward with any case and not do anything concerning case prosecution until X, Y, and Z. So if lawyers, legislators are learning that some of them are not received their gas slip since June or July. So if legislators are not receiving gas since June or July, and that legislator needs to contest in an election, and he needs to visit a constituent and brief the people, imagine what is going on with ordinary civil servants who barely can make $100 US or $50 US. You don't approach electoral period with all these scandals of situation. Those of you for grand jury, I don't know whether you have had any report as to the missing logistician. I'm here to listen to it. The 3 boys that got drowned in with Simoses situation, I don't know the status of it. And then if you just leave things undone like this, it gave people the intent to speculate. And that is what is going on. And as we approach the election with more speculation, it's already out. It's just a matter of time. So I know that he knows that he's out. So he doesn't want to show to the staff of CDC that he's out. See the convention result. He saw the convention.
Yeah, fly by knife convention. Okay, let me go to Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we, because I think that if Mr. Josh, Dr. Weah is defeated, I think there will be an impact in terms of the new government coming in, most likely will try to curb the corrupt appetite in Liberia with the people in power. But the question that I want to find out from you, Mr. Josh, is how do we do that? How do we, the new government that will come to power, how do you deal with the fact that people who were in government before were taking things that don't belong to them? Do you investigate them? And if you're in the process of investigating them, how do you stop them from going out of the country? Do you put traveling ban on them? And how many of those people that are going to be affected? And where do you stop? And where do you start? So if you can help me to understand that, I will appreciate it.
Yeah. Here's the thing here. If President Weah loses the election, the incoming president can issue an order, an executive order, that maybe minister, deputy minister, assistant minister, director, assistant director, or appointed position, everybody should turn their passport and none of them should leave the country for the next 6 months and let it do a complete audit, turn over, so that they can see and say, okay, this person from overseas, regular indicate this person is clear. They get now.
But Mr. Josh, I don't mean to interrupt. Try to square that with would the people be wrong if they consider that a witch hunt?
It's not a witch hunt. You were in a bureau. You had a bureau for maybe 6, 7, 8 years, and there had not been an independent report audit to give the government or to the people to say this is actually what was going on there. And if another government take over, it happened. I don't say if another government say, hey, nobody should leave. We want to see a complete audit. They're not saying everybody. They're saying people in a appointed position, that will want to do a complete audit. There's nothing wrong with that. If the audit found you not misusing any funds and people want to go ahead, they're not wish hunt. But we have to start from somewhere. This attitude, a pattern that people can just take government money and get away, then after 2, 3 months, it dies, and we have to stop it. Because it's not just affecting one group of people, it's the entire country. So and if we want to curb this corruption, we have to start from somewhere. That people must be accountable. So if you are managing or you are put in charge of public funds, you don't make it to be your piggy bank or your private bank that you can just take money and use it any way you want to. And you are not accountable. And because this has been the problem in Liberia over and over. They will come, the man will steal, it's called embezzlement. The person will go fire the man. We tell the man order the Minister of Justice. But then when you look, after 3 months, that case died down. After 1 or 2 years, the man come back, they bring him back in government. They say any man went 2 years and he not pay the price. And this is that is an incentive you give to people to continue to steal. So, and some are talking this thing, what a be a communist, black eye, or Gongo, or whoever comes to power. These are things we are insisting on that must be done in the country. Because you can't tell me Liberia is that poor. No. But it's because of the mismanagement of government resources by people who have been put in charge and they have been left unchecked. Because it happened during, let's say, from government to government. The whole time we saw people stole, fire them. After 2-3 years, they come back. Ellen came, that was a more legitimate government. The same thing happening. Everybody walk away. And today, these people are sitting on that money, and you got ordinary people struggling in the country. So the point is, these political leaders, these people want to become president. These I think we're telling them, if you don't do it, we'll jump in the street and move you, because there's no way you can have country people just steal and get away. But when the man in the street take a cell phone, they're mocking. And you have people who they are being given position that they are making lucrative money, but still they turn around to rob the people. And this is the same thing I continue to talk. Look at, for example, why men at Buffer Chief will be stealing current? Why men at Dr. Luther Tappet, chairman of the United Party, why people that will be stealing current? If this kind of character, they're in government, you see what they will do. You make enough money. Why would you want to go? Why would you be stealing current? This is the same attitude they carry into public service. Don't want to pay bills, but want to continue to get. You may enjoy the facility from the government and not pay for it because you are speaker, because you're chairman of a party. What is the precedent you're setting? That other people come to follow. Because we are going back, we continue to accuse the people in the past. These people stole. These people stole. Okay, now you get there. What is the example you're setting that? Look, this was set aside. This is paving the way that to tell people or to tell the world that this is not a way of life. Public service doesn't mean you come and steal. That's not a definition. But people continue to do the same old thing. And nobody has ever stood up to people and said, you know what? Enough is enough. We have to start from somewhere. And today, hey, audit. Government official, every time they say they're auditing the people. They just audited the people. They gave that report to the president that these people have embezzled government money. They misuse certain amount of money. The people are still in power. They fire one, but they not turn that man over to the Justice Ministry. So all the money that guy stole, he walk away with it. He gone. So what is the precedent? So that's why some are calling on these people, the Baka, the communists, and the Gompo. Whoever become president, that should be a number one priority to audit and start prosecuting people.
So, Jonathan, Mr. George lay out some concrete step, I would say, that perhaps it follow, hopefully. But the question then, how do you implement those concrete steps that he put out without creating a spirit of fear within the former government official communities who then will claim witch hunt and trying to come after them because of X, Y, and Z and turn it into victimization against them? How do you deal with that?
Yes. Firstly, we have to separate, the responsibility of the agents of government to that of their normal livelihood or life condition. Mr. George and Mr. Tour, as you are here, you are private citizen of the Republic of Liberia. Your responsibility in a venture is to pay your taxes, is to follow the obligations, and to exercise the rights given to you under the law. That's your responsibility. You don't work for government, but you pay taxes to government. If you make business, government deduct taxes for you. When you assume national leadership role and the people are taking their taxes from their businesses, from value-added things they buy, taxes for housing and different things, and put it together and pay you because they want you to be flexible, to have everything at their disposal so that you perform the duty for which you were elected or appointed for. It is on your shoulder to demonstrate transparency. If we are asking you about that, that should not be seen as a wish hunting. And so President Weah or the next president are coming needs to take into consideration the official turnover note of the president. I think President Weah received that turnover note from Madam Salif. There was a good bit of money in our reserve. And it was not as much as we anticipated, but it was far better than what the turnover note from Julie Bryan was. And President Weah, amidst everything, he graded the former president 80% passing mark on her performance of governance. The next person that taking over need to take that turnover note, need to review it. When there's a transitional team, the team that is going out and the new team that coming in, they have to meet and have conversation about different things. Having done that, the next government need to build the first priority before audit is to make public pronouncement, not just in its flimsy manner, but being pragmatic about it that will build confidence in the system. Because we need our investors and partners to have confidence in the system of our country, whether it be a rule of law, whether it be a security, whether it be on corruption, transparency, procurement, we need to build confidence. Then we move to audit. We need to audit all revenue generating entities, and they should be in compliance with standard. We need to audit all expenditure that have been spent on behalf of the Liberian people. We need to have quality assurance of national projects. If somebody said they were building school and the budget for that school was appraised at X, Y, and Z, engineers should be able to be part of the audit team to establish as to whether that school met the real value for money. Anything other than that, those individuals should be held liable. I would not suggest that you should seize their passport using executive order, but I would suggest that, government is an open area. There are pieces of information that we're getting right now. There are actors in the government who are friendly with some of the opposition leaders and they are giving sensitive information. There are things that are on the book that we know that you cannot escape. You go hell, you are not going to escape it. So all the government needs to do while they are building the case to file in a case against you. Like for example, Senator Prince Johnson, it's just one person in that I'm trying to mention that Minisky have come against Nathaniel Magay. We don't need extra thing to fight to pursue those kind of cases because we will develop other cases. So you write the American government that you can furnish us with their expertise, both resource people, lawyers, as well as material evidence in order to lay, to bear this allegation against these individuals. And then we take on the right situation, 11 million. You don't need extra thing. Rice was not in the country. Importer delayed to bring rice. Importer got money anytime to bring rice because they know that's almost helping them in order to be able to meet the quantum of rice they need to bring into the country. So you just have to follow up on it and you will see the facts. 20 million was squandered during the map exercise. You just follow it. The other reports, what they said, that they didn't follow the procedure that you should have followed, and you talk about millions of dollars. And thereafter, what was the inflation rate? So all those pieces of things, that's why when they say opposition party, it should be a governing party in waiting. You have to take on all the issues, pass it by a different governance people, whether by auditor, whether by engineers, then start to evaluate them at different ratio, so that as soon as you hit the ground running, your justice minister can start to think about it and start. Because some of the boys there, they are ready to fly to Dubai, go live their life there, principal in Satome there, country there, now put everything about and go lay down somewhere and then get time for Liberia. You'll be talking about extradition.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
But Jonathan, that's the point you say you talk about. That's the point I'm talking about. This guy got the devil said got a friend in the bush. The devil got a friend. These guys, some of them got friends around Africa and other places. When
What devil in Grand United Country that got friend in the bush you know about?
When the devil come to time, and some people kind of run it there and other people run away.
Okay. All right.
When the devil come to time, some people can come close, but some people don't come closer.
Okay.
Yeah,
but let me, on a very serious note, Mr. George, I think we're gonna have to close it here quick tonight because it's Thanksgiving. Okay. So I think we need to give ourselves some time to organize for tomorrow. But before we do that, one question before we go to the closing of our program here. One question, and then after that, we'll just give our closing statement. Question that I have, and I asked earlier before you guys came in. From your own estimation, what do you think is the total dollar amount came from the international community, and also just estimate the revenue from whatever resources we have in Liberia up to this time that have gone through the hand of this government, the amount of we are led government. Just give me a ballpark figure.
Mr. So if I tell you, I'll be lying. I gotta look at papers because sometimes you get 7 million, 5 million, 2 million. So you have to go and check, look at the budget. The budget, especially the budget, you will see a total figure of that. But it has been some good sum of money for Liberia. I always say, because these people don't get all that kind of money that they give in other countries. They just give peanuts.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
just to keep us quiet. I'll come back to you for your closing. Let me ask Jay. Jay, do you think you're able to throw a figure out there for us?
Oh, I cannot state a specific figure, but I know that they are giving a very good sum of money, because just in 2021, I remember it said the external credit facility of the IMF, they gave almost $230 million to stabilize our inflation. And, a year before that year, they also have provided some of those money to us. It is believed that some of these money that come to us are the money, that's the kind of money that is being used to pay civil servants, which in most instances should not be the case. That was the reason why the ambassadors, if you can remember, that was in 2018 or 19, if I'm not making a mistake, wrote the Central Bank of Liberia complaining that their money have been taken away by the government of Liberia with all the acquiescence. And, and the procedure in that aspect, Liberia should understand that you can request for those NGOs and those diplomatic money, but you will have a term of agreement, because they themselves are operating into other sectors. So that if you tell them, it happened under Madam Salif. So if you tell them that we want to use this amount and it will be paid by December 15, they are aware that even if they want to run payroll or run specific transaction, they will be doing it between the 17, 18, and 20, because you have paid that money. But for a government to go behind them with all the acquiescence and still take this money because it's in government custody, indeed, ready. I think the Manisky process was really, got on the foot.
Okay, Mr. Judge, what will be your before I go back to Jay? Can you give us your closing here?
I'm hoping to see Samuel to appear from the Senate, and this call Samuel is only because the Senate have not been taking pay. They have not got their gas and things. So that's when they feel in the pinch. But when they come up out there, they are not taking bail. They don't call the Minister of Finance. Look at the Chief Justice last night, they had to call Senator Toy. But when these people, the office board, the messenger, when they are not taking bail, it doesn't bother them. They will not act when their interest being affected. And it is just sad because how much people making? 65 cents an hour, $5 a day. And when the more and they make even $40 for the $5 home, they are increasing taxes on the people. Talking about harmonization, where the representative of the people was able to step in and say, hey, what is wrong with these people pay? Why are you paying people the kind of money? But no one ask that question. It's only about these people themselves. So it is just a sad thing for us. But this is the country we have. And I can just leave it on the note that, look, for me, I can just summarize that person. We don't really love Liberia.
Okay. All right. Jay, what will be your closing before we take leave of both of you here for the Thanksgiving?
Yeah, first I would like to tell the audience, happy Thanksgiving Day. We tell God thank you for all of our life, and we thank all of you for religiously following this network all of the time. Our expression here is not based on hate, envy, nothing whatsoever. We need Liberia to be improved so that when you retire here from America and in your 70, 60, you can go back home, have good security, good electricity. Those are the elements of things that are adding to the Ghanaian economy, the Nigerian economy, and they are booming. Unlike us, we are always afraid to go home because the environment seems not being reasonable. 15,000 ceditians added to the payroll in 2018, for which they had a harmonization. Because what it did is that they piled the payroll to accommodate some of the partisan, and then they reduced Civil 7 earnings. The ECOWAS condemned that issue. Opposition political parties spoke about that issue, and Samuel Toy and McGill, not Samuel Toy, sorry, but McGill and Molu were writing communication, employing people that never had no specialization and just taking money. Coach Jericho Nangbe was making $5,000 US according to the Uganda. What technical advice you are providing to Central Bank, go one know there were university students who are not graduated and they were already going to take that pay effectively with $800 US, and that are not being the norm of the central bank. You have to go through the rudiment 3-4 months. You qualify before. So we didn't see any of those things, and then it brought us to the place. We said to them that you can put all sedition on the payroll. When you do not have revenue, the very sedition that you're thinking that you're trying to make them to be happy by paying them, they're going to get annoyed, because the most disappointing thing is for the person to believe that our life is about to change, and then they see themselves going backward. So you should have done a small government and improve on the size of government in a bigger fraction later when your revenue evidence start to increase. But interestingly, the minister comes and tells us that we have surpluses, yet we are unable to pay gas to staff. We are unable. Information ministry staff are protesting. Liberians are protesting all over. You cannot farm food. I mean, it is just deplorable. All we can say, our people should be patient-mannered. We should not go into anything that will disturb our peace. We should wait on October 10, 2023. We execute the mandate and elect president. We are out, ceremoniously, and we'll have a triumphant day where president will obtain power over to the next president of the Republic of Liberia, and we'll see good governance.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners and to Mr. Sisi and his family. And Mr. So wherever he is today, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to him and the rest of the family.
Well, you're just telling me that Thanksgiving, maybe I'll tell you, maybe I'll not tell you.
I know you'll play it. Take your list.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and let's meet again. I'm not too sure if we'll do it on Friday because it's still the day after Thanksgiving. So maybe Monday for sure, but we'll see. I want to thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
Goodbye. Again, folks, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. It's been a wonderful evening. Thanksgiving to all of you. We say happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And we say thank you, Jesus, for this wonderful, wonderful time. We also ask God for all of us to be back again next year to have the same kinds of privilege to be here to have a Thanksgiving as well. Thank you all. And we'll say good night to all of you because it's been a wonderful, wonderful show. That's for sure. No question asked. So please follow us, do whatever you can to support this new network that you're always supporting. We appreciate it. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, Mr. So is not here tonight. He'll be back here either Friday or Monday for sure. Okay, so we'll say thank you and good night.
Dr. Bao, Jajibé, Tabagnoloa, le colonel Sveignan Timoléon. Allô? Eh, Saragio, je dis non, Yayu. Laisse-moi, ok? Ini se ma wete nyanga wo